Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the English news from Djibouti channels. Here are the headlines of our edition tonight. Our headlines are Coast Guards in a series of training for young Djiboutians. An international Rabat and Amman returned their full support for the Palestinian people. That were our headlines, and now let's get to the details. A meeting of the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Arab country held this morning in Tunis, where the summit of Arab League well prepared. The Minister of Foreign Affairs International Corporation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, participated in this meeting. The Tunisian capital will be under high security to ensure the smooth running of the summit of the League of Arab States to be held in Tunis on March 31. Reads on the Twitter account of the situation of center of the Russian Minister of Foreign Affairs, which manage emergencies that many threaten the lives and health of many agenda and many subject will be on the topic of the summit. A closing ceremony for the training of young people from civil society took place at the Director of Operations of the Coast Guard Djibouti. The ceremony was held under the joint sponsorship of the Minister of Equipment and Transport, Mr. Mahmoud Abdul Qadir Musa Hilim, and Colonel Wa'is Umar Bakr, Commander of the Coast Guard Djiboutians, and in the presence of the ministers of the National Education and the Professional Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud. The elements of the Coast Guard were trained in the firefighting and the weapons handling skills for nearly 50 Coast Guard personnel, held on the same occasion after the closing of the training ceremony for young people from civil society officials present attended a demonstrations. Costa member who had undergone technical training demonstrated their skills. The training was on maritime safety and firefighting. This training is important to respond to the threat of fire on a boat. During his speech, Colonel Wa'is Umar Bakr, commander of the Coast Guard, stressed the main goal of this training course was to teach these young people to knowledge the need to enter the job market, a technical and practical background in the field of maritime trades. It's about providing them with the means to engage in active life and benefit from their skills to build a career. Minister of Transport Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa received this Thursday in his office a large delegation of civil aircraft on the Arab League. In the course of their interview, the minister and the delegation headed by directors civil aviation were able to talk about cooperation between training and cooperation between Djibouti and the Arab League. This training will allow Djiboutian civil aviation staff to acquire more experience. To get a memorandum of understanding on technical corporations will be initiated in the coming days. Nothing that the director of civil aviation, Mr. Mahmoud, had took by this meeting and stressed the importance of this meeting. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, received in his office Thursday morning the visit of high-ranking Chinese official led by the director of the communication department of the Chinese Communist Party of the municipality from Tianjin. The delegation also included the president of the China Civil Engineering and Construction Corporation, as well as other Chinese personalities, including the president of the Chan University. For several weeks, the National Institute in Public Health of Djibouti has been pursuing an initiative spring campaign in the capital. It's therefore questions of carrying out vector control activity against the proliferation of mosquitoes and breeding sites in order to eliminate the risk of malaria transmission that is endemic in our country. As part of the National Women's Week and under the auspices of the Minister of Women and Family, Siti Nasib organized a march to support the policy of the head of state, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, in favor of the women. This march saw the participation of the sports leaders of the Nasib city, mentioned in this case Mr. Yassin Mohammed Noor, as well as the directors of the UNFD of the City Nasib, the president of the Annex, and the voice bearers of women with special needs. This march, which starts with the signing of the national anthem, was followed by a 100-meter series race that put the women's team of the City Nasib in the running. A closing ceremony of the training course in airport security, especially in imagery, was held in the compound of the International Airport of Djibouti. On this occasion, 24 people, including 21 gendarmes and 3 customs officers, benefit from the training provided by the expert of the Transport Security Administration of the United States government. This training was focused on the use and detections using X-ray machines, prohibit objects, or may compromise the safety of the passengers. The training of the national team pre-selections has entire an intensive phase where a busy program concocted by the team of Franco-Djiboutian technicians is implemented daily on the ground of the sport complex of Ali Sabeh. In the day of yesterday at afternoon, the player of the pre-selections of the national team had a pleasant surprise to receive the visit of the prefect of the region, Mr. Mohammed Waberi, on the ground of the sport. And now let's get to the detail where Morocco and many others Arab countries say their support to the Palestinians.
For King Abdullah II of Jordan met on Thursday at the royal place in Casablanca to discuss wide-ranging issues driving politics in the Middle East. In their discussion, the two leaders agreed to strengthen the Moroccan-Jordanian diplomatic ties. They also stressed the importance of collective actions to face some of the most high priority issues of the region. In a significant show of the two kingdoms' commitment to the principles discussed in the monarch's meeting, Morocco's Minister of Foreign Affairs Nasser Bourita joined the Jordanian counterpart Ayman Safadi in releasing a price statement that reiterated the two kingdoms' insistence on greater regional dialogue to solve a crisis. King Mohammed IV also ordered the establishment of a training center in the field of the tourism, agro-industry, construction, public works, energy and water resource in Jordan. The move is aimed at easing the expertise, sharing and expanding trade ties between the two kingdoms.
On continent and in Venezuela, where thousands of people gathered in Christchurch on Friday to honor the fifth victims of the eight. So there's the Venezuela now, where many others. And in Venezuela, the old parliamentarians of Juan Guaido, recognized like president of Venezuela by about 50 countries, was declared eligible for 15 years for alleged corruptions, a decision taken by the Comptroller General of the Republic, a close friend of Nicolas Maduro, and announced on state public television. According to him, Juan Guaido would not have justified in his declarations of patrimony certain expense made during his travel abroad. Here we arrive at the end of this news edition. Thank you for watching us. Goodbye.